Mosin here, Yash, Vladdy, CS, Phil, Ginger, Optimus Prime. So all week, all the last 2 weeks, I've been telling you the exact same thing. Don't overtrade. Keep your trades smaller size than normal. Wait for our time. Trading is all about sitting. I know it sounds cliche. You probably heard this line 1,000 times before. It's not about buying and selling. It's about waiting patiently. Because if you trade every day or you trade a lot, you're gonna be a loser unless you're some kind of professional on the street or in the bay in the pits. You cannot trade every day. You have to wait for trades to come to you. You can't force trades. That's why we kept saying don't force trades, don't overtrade. Our opportunity will come, and boy did it come today. So we've been looking at the same channel that I've been pointing out over and over and over again since about June. We adjusted it a little bit because the bottoms got a little bit straighter here, but look exactly where we bounced today. Wicked bounce on the SPY today, closed up almost 1%, which is big for the indexes. What's up, Nils? How you doing, Carson? So we came down and look exactly where we tested. I did not touch this line since yesterday. You've seen this exact trend line yesterday. You've seen this exact trend line for the last 3 or 4 months on here. And look where we bounced, exactly off the trend line. Last night, all I seen was everyone, I'm taking puts, I'm doing this. This is the big crash. This is the biggest crash forever. But until we break down this trend line, we don't even have daily consolidation. So daily consolidation would start if we broke through this level. No, actually, daily consolidation is going on. Weekly consolidation would start if we broke through that yellow line there at 436.12. So that's a long way down. For now, we held the bull line. This is a bull line. This is for the bullish trend on the daily. We held it and bounced. Do we get follow through tomorrow? Every single time we've touched this line or bottomed, the next day has been a wicked bounce. Look at this. Big dump, big bounce, big dump, big bounce, big dump, big bounce, every single time. So tomorrow, do we get follow through on SPY? That is the question. Keep watching for tomorrow. Let's see if we get some kind of follow through. We did hold on to this very important support today. We did cross a very important resistance, which was a 21-day moving average, which is at 447.24, and we closed today at 447.88. So we closed above the 21-day, and we also closed above the 8-day moving averages. So just like that, in the snap of half a day, we turned everything back bullish. Let's see if we get follow through. And if this pattern continues, within 3 or 4 days, we'll be back at all-time highs. So let's see if we get a day 2. Tomorrow is very, very important. It is still OPEX week. Do not get too crazy and bullish. Keep your position sizing the same. I'm still remaining smaller position sizing except for Amazon. I did go a little heavy on that today. But that's because I had a plan in place to sell those before the end of the day. So day trading, I will still go heavy here and there. But overnight swings, anything like that, my positions are still small relatively to before. QQQ, weakest this morning. Absolutely weakest. Look at this. Let me show you something. Alright, so we had the SPY this morning. We opened up, we dumped, we held the channel, right? We only dumped for 10 minutes. QQQ dumped for 15, flagged, bear flagged, and then dumped again. So we set a low at around 10:10 this morning. And from there, we kind of just went sideways. You see how weak it is down here? It stayed down here so long, whereas SPY, just one quick dump, and then we just ripped right away. So QQQ was the weakest this morning, ended the strongest. Look at this rip into the end of the day. XLF, if you want to look what I'm talking about, right off the open, we ripped. So opposite of SPY and opposite of QQQ, financials were strong this morning. Came back down, retested this white line, which is probably a moving average. What is this white line? White line's at 37.55. One of the moving averages, I think the 50-day moving average was at 37.55 this morning, yeah. So it changed now because we did rip up, but that was the moving average this morning. So XLF was the strongest this morning, and it ended pretty strong as well as QQQ. Just looks like it killed it. Let's see what the daily percentages are. On tech, we had a 0.74% day. On XLF, we had a 0.96, so almost a 1% move on XLF, which was better than SPY and QQQ. So financials were the strongest today overall. IWM also ripped through the high of the pre-market high and just ran all day. Let's see the daily percentages. So IWM went up 90%. So if I had to draw what you need to watch, XLF is the strongest. But this number 1, financial strongest. IWM number 2, SPY number 3. Yikes. And QQQ is in last place at number 4. But we did absolutely rip from lows on QQQ, so keep that in mind. Let's see which one runs the most tomorrow. We need QQQ and XLF to hold up for SPY to go higher tomorrow. But on the daily, everything is super, super bullish in my opinion. This is a perfect retest of the trend line and perfect bounce. And all we need to do is get through yesterday's high of 448.34 tomorrow. If we close above there, we're going back to all-time highs most likely. ES, I told you 44.64, 44.65 range was the range we needed to get bullish. Look where we got to. Closed above 44.64, 44.64. Look at these crazy moves in ES. This was a very volatile day. Big rip, big dip, everything you can imagine possible. So ES, SPY, QQQ, XLF, the market in general looks very bullish. What's going on, Maka? Hey, Rishi. Bitcoin, had my line drawn here. As I told you guys last week, I sold a bunch. I sold about 75% of my crypto holdings last week just because this dump and this bear flag. We just kept putting up inside days. Couldn't get over it, couldn't get under it. So today we did break over it. This is the first time an 4-hour candle. First time a 4-hour candle closed above or below my lines was today. So today, what we have left is 3 hours and 47 minutes left in this candle. If we close above 47.341, 47341, boys. Let's just write that down. If we close today, 47341, above 47341, I will jump back in crypto. I will start adding back my Matic and couple others that I like. I will announce it in the premium chat. And that's all I'm waiting for on Bitcoin. But for right now, it does look bullish. It broke out above. And if it comes back down and retests and then rips, that's my favorite pattern ever. So keep an eye out for this pattern here. We are a little extended. Retest 47341 and then rip. So that's my favorite pattern ever. I will be adding back if we do go back and retest. If we don't go back and retest and just close above my number, I will add anyways. SE monster at the end of the day. When the market started ripping, this one started ripping. Hammer candles across the board. That'll be a theme that you guys see in a bunch of charts today. A lot of stocks dumped this morning and then ripped by the end of the day. SE is definitely one of them. SE has a huge gap to fill. This is my favorite stock in the stock market. As you guys well know, I was calling this one out around $100. My average on equity is around 150, and I would still buy up here. That's how much I love this stock. So SC did that offering. They bought it up immediately. The only reason that it stayed down 3 days, in my opinion, is the market was weak. If the market wasn't weak, they would have filled this gap the first day. So the gap fill is all the way to 342. We closed today at 337. There's still a $5 move left in SC, in my opinion. If market holds up tomorrow, I will be taking some calls for this one as well. And I love the stock. There's nothing else to say. If it reclaims the gap to 342, I think it goes back to all-time highs all the way to 360. So love SC here. Love it for the gap fill. Love it long-term. Love it for equity. Love it for options. I love it for everything. I just love C Limited. MGNI. So we had Investor Day today. We called it out. Everything was fine. Questrade screwed me completely. I bought $35 lottos for 7 cents just based on a big move coming on the Investor Day. We got the big move. I had my limit sell in at 15 cents, which would have been around 120%-ish within half an hour, which I will always take. But Questrade did not fill me for some weird reason. I hate that broker. Should have taken an interactive broker account, but whatever. Live and you learn. And MGNI, look at this weekly falling wedge forming here. Great news today. The Investor Day was good. It was 3 hours long. I only listened to a bit of it because I was falling asleep. The guy talks really boring. But we got that huge rip intraday. Look exactly where we rejected. Exactly at the weekly wedge. Okay? Daily, you can see it better. Look at this. Exactly at the wedge. We just completely died from there. So they were talking. In my opinion, if this run-up was a little bit closer to the wedge and he said what he said, this would have ripped through. Look at the volume that came in on that candle. And from there, after a big rejection here, lots of sellers. There's probably a whale selling his position here. And just came all the way down, consolidated for the rest of the day. Let's see if we get a gap up tomorrow, because they did say a lot of good stuff. They're partnering with Fubu, partnering with Disney. A bunch of big companies they're trying to partner with. And they're a sell-side advertising company. So it's a bright future for MGNI, in my opinion. Let's see where they can go from here. Annie called out Ricky really likes this stock. It's a Bitcoin miner. I still have to do more research into it, but I seen T taking calls and he was talking about them buying 60,000 Bitcoin or something. So
Mining machines.
yeah, it's a mining whatever. And these kind of companies run fast. I know me and Ricky did very well on GBTC. I've done very well on Riot and Mara. BTBT screwed me the last time I played it. I think those are going to expire at 0, but that's just weird price action. Today, Ricky jumped in equity in this one. He liked it a lot, so he jumped in a little higher. He jumped in at 740. He was telling me to buy. I was like, I'm going to wait. I waited for a bit. I think this one runs after hours, which is the only reason I bought it at $7, or else I'd even wait for the 21 day if I got it. 21 day moving average is at $4, so if I got $4 I would have loaded it, but I bought it at $7 because I think it runs after hours. Bitcoin is hot. That's one of the reasons that I bought right away. Bitcoin broke my resistance, so I jumped in it, and let's see where this one goes. This is a longer term equity hold for me. Yeah, 60,000 mining machines, let them mine Bitcoin. I don't even get that whole part, whatever. But yeah, solid company. I'm gonna hold it for a while. Let's see where it goes. I will add more if we dip down below the moving averages. I'm not gonna fuck shit. Here comes more charts. All right, so we got NEO. We have puts in NEO. So unfortunately, we closed above 38, which we did not want to see, but it's not done yet. Like, I mean, look, this bounce. This is a trend, okay? So I know you guys worry a lot. This is an hourly chart that I was watching. This is a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and if this is the low on the hourly, it's setting a higher low here. But what it has to do to prove itself for me is the opposite of Jumia. Now it has to either break through 39.39. So 39.40 is the level for NEO. It has to get higher than that to change this hourly trend back in the favor of the bulls. 39.39 is a far way away, first of all. Second of all, we've already bounced heavy off the bottom. The bottom was at 36.97 and today's high was 38.10. So we bounced $1.13 already on NEO, and we need another $1.40 to break this hourly downtrend. So I'm not too worried. It's still in favor of the bears. It's holding this trend line here. That was the head and shoulders I was talking about. But it still needs a huge move to change the trend. So this is still in a downtrend. I'm not worried. We have 2 weeks. I'm fine with holding NEO. If you're not comfortable, you're either too big or you can get out. No big deal. Shorting is much different than longs. Longs, I feel everyone is biased towards the long side. So it's very easy to hold a losing long, but it's very hard for them to hold a losing short. I treat them both the same way, and I have no issues holding either one. That's just from experience and stuff. Amazon, massive hammer candle on the daily. I have these lines drawn up from yesterday. I told you guys 34.36 is a must hold. We dumped below there and scared a lot of people today. A lot of people are calling Amazon trash, blah, 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 blah. In the last week, Amazon, I personally have seen 3 price targets over $4,000. I've seen Andy Jesse talk about how good Amazon Web Services is. I've seen them say they're going into makeup. I've seen them, what else are they? They're like at least 5 different types of good news, at least 5 different price upgrades. And the only reason they were down is because the market was down. You think Amazon's going to stay down here while the rest of FANG runs? I don't think so. I think Amazon still gets high of year this month. If not this month, in October. Just my opinion. It could not happen. You know, we could dump down and retest all the lower levels. But in my opinion, this week is setting up to be a monster for Amazon. We had a huge day today. From the lows of 3,400 to the highs of 3,485, Amazon ran 83 points today. 83 points. Show me another stock that ran 83 points today, and show me another stock that the options went crazy. So we have the 3,600s. This is just how I manage, okay? You guys can write this down if you want. I'll write it down, whatever. I'm a nice guy sometimes. So we had the $3,600 calls for September 24th, correct? I called these ones out at $16.50. I sold 1/3 at 39, called out live. The other 2/3 position I have was down big. I did not average down just because it was red. I did average down today when Amazon and market showed reversal at $3 average. Heavy. Sold those at 5 and now have original position at average of 8. Okay, so this is all I wanted to show you guys. So I seen some people in the group, they were just averaging down on Amazon randomly, right? Someone told me they averaged down at 9, they averaged down at 8. Why? Why do you average down on options positions that are going against you? The reason I averaged down today was because Amazon showed me momentum. The market was going with it. QQQ was firing off, SPY was firing off, Amazon was firing off. So I added to my 3600s at 3. My new average on the calls was 8. I loaded those ones at 3. I sold all of them at 5. Okay, I sold the ones I bought at 3. I sold them at 5. That's plus $200 per contract. You guys don't want to know how many contracts I bought. I did get a little crazy, but we sold from 3.00 to 5. That's 60%. I think it's 67%. My math might be wrong. It's been a long day. So we sold from 3 to 5, the new average. My account will say that I'm red on this trade, but what you need to know, I'm not red on this trade. I added at 3, I sold at 5. That's 67% on all the ones I added today. The overall position will say I'm red because I sold those ones, but I bought them at 3, I sold them at 5, and now my new ones have an average of 8. That's a win-win situation. If Amazon wants to go, those calls will be at $8. It's much easier to manage a position that's down at $8 than it is to manage a position that's at $16, okay? So it's a win-win for me. If I was wrong today and I bought and I averaged down at 3 and they went down to 1, I would have been completely screwed. But I used my experience, I used my trading, and that's why I did it. So wait for the admins, at least wait for the admins if you want to average down. I don't recommend averaging down for everyone, but at least wait for a signal to average down. You just don't randomly average down because your position is down. That's the number one way to blow up an account. All right, so Boeing, don't really want to go over much on this one. We went over the weekly chart. It's holding at this support level. The longer it holds here at 211.18, as long as it stays above 211.18, this one has a chance to pop just based on the weekly chart. Other than that, I'm not interested in Boeing anymore. I played those lottos. We got a nice gain, and I'm out. Microsoft, share buyback offering of $60 billion. Imagine a company can buy back 60 billion of their own shares. Solid day, gap up and go. Good volume. They increased their dividend too big time. Solid company. What's going to happen to Microsoft, right? 305.84. 305.84 is all-time high, and today we went to 305.32. So look for a retest of 305.84. If it gets through there, we can have blue skies ahead for Microsoft non-stop. I'm not really interested in Microsoft long. I'd rather take Amazon here. Just my opinion. I like how it plays better. I like the options, how they move better. Jumia is holding on for dear life on this higher low here. So we set the lower low, we set a lower high, then we set a higher low, and now we have to take out 2215, or else we can just be range bound between 2215 and 1865 for a long time on Jumia. So 2215 is a key level on Jumia. And like I said yesterday, the CEO is buying $1 million worth of shares at market, so he doesn't even care what price he gets in. He's very bullish. VIH, I was telling you to watch, another dud day. It looks like they're just waiting out. Everyone that has weak hands or needs to sell, they're going to sell here. No real selling volume here. Every time there's buying volume, it's higher than the selling volume. So this one still has a chance. We need to close above 1070 for this one to squeeze. Netflix, a lot of people asking me about Netflix today. Netflix, the only level I have written down and the only level I will buy at is 568. Look at this weekly chart. Just a huge range between 568 and 466. Almost a 100-point range. It's been stuck in this range since July of 2020, so almost 2 years. What am I talking about? It's 2021. Just over a year, it's been stuck in this one range. So 568, if it comes to retest 568, also the weekly 8-day moving average is at 563. So the longer it stays above here, the longer the 8-day moving average is going to get closer to 568. Retest of 568, I'm going to take this one, and it should go all the way to all-time highs very, very easily. Other than that, I hate Netflix. I hate trading it. I hate it as a company. I don't subscribe to them. I don't want them. I don't like them. Jumia, we already did. AMD, I call this one out end of day. Why did I call it out? So the daily is set up as a flag. Last time we wedged, it took a long time for it to break out. Just like this. Look how many days it flagged, and then massive breakout. Look how many days it flagged, and then just a little tiny breakout, right? This time it's flagging again, but the reason I bought this one was because the weekly, and I seen some flow coming in actually, and $110 calls for November. I seen AMD flow, and look at the weekly. 3 weeks, boom. 3 weeks, boom. And now third week this time. So do we rip? That's why I took next week's 110 calls for 77 cents. I think I've missed on AMD like once in my life. That was probably the last lotto that we took. Other than that, AMD, usually nail it. Let's see if we get follow through tomorrow on SPY. Everything should rip, so any calls you took, we really need follow through tomorrow, or else this could all be a fake move. What else did I call out? I think that's all I called out today. Let's take a look at a couple other names that I called out a while ago. So Zim is just this is a weekly chart of a chart that I called out. I called it out back here at $20, made a YouTube video, everything. Straight up in a line, 4 weeks consolidation, straight up in a line, and all-time highs today. Another hammer candle on the weekly forming. Daily, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Test of 8-day, beautiful. This day, look at this. Touched the 8-day, ripped hammer candle. This day, almost touched 8-day, rip. It's just riding the 8-day moving average all the way up. My target for this one's around 80 to 100 bucks. I got a lot of leeway since I'm in from 20 bucks. I averaged up at $47. So my average sits around 30 something right now. And if I get a pullback again, I will probably add at the 21-day, which is 52, either there or I'll add back at 47 again. I want to average up on this one. When shipping companies go, they really, really go, and that's why Ricky and T, I think, jumped in tops. This one, if you zoom out, you guys want to see something. This one does a lot of reverse splits, so don't get fooled by the chart, but look at this. Yeah, I don't even know if that's right, but 549,240, that's 5 million, I don't know. Trading views on drugs. But anyways, my point is that shipping companies, when they go a lot. So we got TAL, looks like shit. Didn't get the move that we wanted on the daily. We had the moving average coming closer and closer, but we didn't get the move. As usual, China disappoints again. Broke the lows, I think. 403 is the low. Today we went to 428. This one's dead, probably going to zero. Catch a different one. Amazon covers it. Baba will do. Ooh, Baba looks nice. Okay, now I see what you guys are seeing today. I didn't even look at Baba because I'm so heavy in Amazon and AMD, but it looks like double bottom with a hammer candle reversal. So we had a 152.80. Today's low was 153.92. Almost a double bottom. So almost a double bottom here. Hammer candle off it. Nice, very nice daily candle. But how many times has Amazon tricked us? Last time we got a hammer candle like this, we did get a massive gap up. So that's what that's probably what T's looking for tomorrow. Massive gap up and sell. And other than that, as far as follow through goes, I'm still not convinced with China. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't like it. If I ever play China, it will be like an overnight swing or a scalp during the day. Other than that, it's so hard for me to advise anyone to hold Baba longer than a day. But if you're in, I hope you guys get it. 174.15 is the pivot point for me. Until we are through 174.15, I will not hold Baba for longer than a day. Other than that, I mean, PDD probably even looks better if Baba looks like that. PDD not well off the lows. You see this? PDD is way better than Baba, in my opinion. Trying to change the daily trend here. We're holding those lows. So we put in the lower low. We put in a higher high here because this was the previous high of 96.38. We put in a higher high after earnings. Then we put in a higher low, then another higher high. And now if this is the low here, This is a higher low again. So PDD is working on changing the daily trend while Baba is just stuck in the mud. I'd rather trade PDD here, and also it moves faster, and if China goes, it's going to move the most. All right, guys, thank you guys for attending. Remember, it's still OPEX week. Don't get too carried away. Everything does look bullish, but keep the same position sizing always. Don't have too much conviction in one trade. You'll get screwed. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.